Did that sort of click for you all at once, or was it sort of a slow progression?
I would consider it a slow progression. A kid coming from the area I'm from, the obstacles of coming to a high-profile college like this and what they want from you on the field, it's kind of hard to adapt to, and it takes time to adapt. So I don't say when I came here I got it. It was an overtime process of me getting better in the classroom and also on the field.
And where are you different now from when you showed up?
Mentally, taking in everything, learning how to balance my time when it comes to football and academics. When you first get here, it's kind of hard to structure football and academics. That's probably where I had the most problems. But now seeing how to manage my schedule has helped me out tremendously.
When Coach Madison said that you had to learn how to go hard on every play, not just like third down, but every play. What was the lesson that the light went on and you decided?
The team. Wasn't about myself, it was about helping this defense become the best defense in the nation. Me working out there with my defense, everybody out there working to be the best, but, we all go out there in the summer and winter and we work hard to get in the best shape we can.
But so was it a matter of being in the best shape that enabled you to go hard every day?
I guess shape and, mentally, knowing your plays, because it's kind of hard to go hard and do everything right if you don't know your plays. So it's knowing your plays, getting in better shape, trusting yourself, believing that you can be the best person on the field.
And Coach Hoke said that you might be the strongest guy on the line. Talk about your love of the weight room and what happens in there.
Well, Coach Wellman, he works and pushes everybody to their limit. I just happen to be one of the stronger guys, but, people like Kyle Kalis, other offensive linemen, they're not too far. They might be ahead of me, but, that's a compliment. But, everybody go hard to work. So.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you after Notre Dame. Can you talk about, was that a huge disappointment in that you didn't think that the defense would give up that many points in that situation?
The defense and everybody on defense went out there and played football. It's heartbreaking that, we lost by 31 points, but we can't go back in the past and change anything we did. We went out there and played football. Everybody went out there and gave it their all. We didn't come off victorious, but, it hurt. It hurt in the locker room to lose to a rivalry that big, but we can't take anything back.
Did you feel like you were closer to making some plays? And as you saw the film, you don't see the defensive backfield, but, guys are you close to getting to Golson or that sort of thing?
Right. It's the second or third effort, I'm always trying to work on the second or third effort to get to the quarterback. There was a couple more times in the game where I feel like I could have gave a second or third more effort to try to, help the DBs or to get to the quarterback. It's all a learning experience. And, it's disappointing, but we can't do anything about it.
Describe the battle in the trenches. It's not a pretty place.
It's not a pretty place, Me and a couple of our defensive linemen, we call it the paint. So
the what?
The paint. So
okay.
we grind in the paint. So, it's not easy. It's not fun, but it's not for everybody. So, hanging in the paint,
So the term paint comes from?
In basketball.
Okay, so it's like a forward. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So we in the paint. So we're all the mesh and everything like that happens. So it's like banging against the offensive lineman. So what I'm saying, if somebody came down there and got hurt, they hurt off. You got hurt banging in the paint. It's not built for everybody. So it's just something we joke around with. The trench is tough. Everybody go hard. The offensive lineman, you got attitude, defensive lineman. A lot of people can't do it, or everybody else would.